अश्विनी जी, हेलो। हेलो। जस्ट चेक लो, यहाँ का वीडियो वहां पे बराबर दिख रहा है।
वही वाला आप आपके फोन में एक बार स्पीकर व्यू ऑन कीजिए। ठीक है, फिर ये दिखा दो। स्लाइड कीजिए तो स्पीकर गैलरी वैसे ऑप्शंस आएंगे। मैम मेरी वॉइस आ रही है?
ओके, आप बात कीजिए ना अश्विनी जी, जस्ट चेक।
नॉर्मल मैम मेरी वॉइस आ रही है, मैं बात कर रही
Okay, can you see us? Like me and Swati are here. Is it clear?
हूँ। ऊपर वाला या ये वाला?
हाँ,
हाँ।
दिख रहा है। ओके, आपके एंड से थोड़ा सा बात किए ना, हम एलईडी में चेक कर लेते हैं whether it's coming out properly. We're just checking the LED. Over here.
लाइव ये ज्यादा अच्छा लग रहा है ना, ये सारे क्रॉस में है। राजेश दोनों लाइव वाला माइक है जो इको हो रहा है।
Appreciate your patience for waiting. It's an opportunity to gain knowledge that can protect everything you have worked so hard to build. Before we proceed further, let us start the event with the divine vibrations of Nokar Mantra. We request everyone to please be seated. please understand.
नमो अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं
नमो आयर्याणं
नमो वझायाणं
नमो लोये सर्वसाहुणं
ऐसो पंच नमुक्कारो
सर्वपापप्रणाशनो
मङ्गलाणं च सव्येसि
पठमं भवति मङ्गलम् नमो 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 नमो
For this insightful session, I request our JLW chairperson, Purviji Dugar, to address the gathering. Thank you so much. Jai Jinendra, everyone. How's the Josh? सिर्फ यहाँ से आया है. A very, very warm welcome on this beautiful, wonderful afternoon right here. We are with, आज का जो ये session है, Know Your Rights. It's very, one of my extremely favorite topic. और, I was wanting कि हम ये चीज़ साल भर से prepare कर रहे थे कि हमको ये करना है. And today, I'm very grateful to Divyaji Abhishek, who is right here with us, the speaker of the day. What a phenomenal, journey she is having, and the kind of awareness on the legal and, the kind of rights which we women should be having. I think the kind of insights we're going to attain, it's going to be one hell of a session. I'm so excited and looking forward to, gain all the kind of knowledge which you're going to share it. And I am extremely, I welcome, by the way, ladies, this is first time we are having a hybrid event. We are online as well as offline right here, and it's a national event, and I welcome the respected dignitaries from the Apex zone, our Apex chairperson, Sheetal Jidugar, our DIC, Sonali Jidugar, all the Apex vice chairpersons, secretaries, zone conveners, TNAPTS convener, Sapnaji Betala, and all the CPs, CS, all the members, all the FCPs, CPs, and all the members, families, friends, and who have taken their valuable time to be here, present here, online, offline, and gain this kind of knowledge right here with us. One thing I keep on thinking, like, anyways, shopping to hum ladies ka ek, this is like a great addiction, and we cannot, leave that. And as the Rakhi is coming closer, we are having lots of shopping, but hum log ko sare ke sare passwords yaad ho jate hain. Whether it is anybody's cards, your own card, your husband's card, anybody, like you want to go UPI, but have we even got any insights ki humko hamare rights kya hai, if we have to plan our own will, and what is that, what we should be really knowing, and like hame, ye samajhna chahiye kahin pe. So have we even thought of those kind of lines? And we keep on saying, yaar, we have our men with us who will take care of all of that. Mera bhai hai, mere papa hai, mera husband hai, अरे कुछ नहीं, मेरा बेटा है यार, वो सब कुछ देख लेता है. But नहीं. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर एक शिक्षित नारी, one woman who is empowered, the legacies behind her, the generations to come are automatically so empowered, and that leaves such a strong impact on the world for the future generations to come. So ये हमारे लिए है कि हमें शिक्षित होना, हमें अवेयर होना है. So this is definitely, please, अगर किसी के में है कि ये कोई लॉ का लेक्चर है, लॉ का सेशन है, तो नहीं, ये एक अवेयरनेस है जो हमें हमारे कोई भी टाइम पे, we don't want to struggle where we are going to go, कि हम क्या करेंगे,
कैसे हम लोग, we can procure our documents, what do we do, and ourselves and the family around us in stress time. So yes, we are right here with us for this session today and getting more empowered, because being empowered gains a lot of confidence, it brings you a lot of security, and definitely हम आगे परिवार का भी ध्यान पूरा रख सकते हैं. So I would like to thank our JLW director Shanuji Jain, who is with us, and thank you for always being the guiding support and the light with us. And I would like to thank the Saksham team right here with us, who has been like super energetic. They have been chasing Divya, I don't know, for months, and she's like, they are like, no, we are not giving up on you. You have to come and you have to give this kind of knowledge and awareness to our ladies, the community which we are wanting to deliver. And what a brilliant leadership, under the leadership of Reena Ji Shah, Vice Chairperson, Swati Ji and Rajshri Ji. So amazing work. I think the team, the members want more of it. So if you can plan, and this is, I think, if I'm not wrong, this is going to be one of the last programs of Saksham for the year. And a special thank you to our Apex DigiNari convener, Priyanka Ji, who has been, behind this, and we have a lot of chat that Purvi Ji, aap kuch is pe kariye, aap is pe sochiye, and mera bhi, we were like aligned in the same thought that we want to deliver something like this to the community, to bring it across, because I also feel like sometimes I also don't know, or really I know all the accounts and passwords and where do we keep, how do we help, and in these stressful times. So thank you, Priyanka Ji, for being there, for all the support. And now I would not take much of a time, but let's all dive in to a super enriching, powerful, impactful session with Divya Ji. Thank you so much. Again, thanks to all the participants, online, offline, for being here for this intense program. Thank you.
Thank you, Purvi Ji, for your inspiring words. Now I would like to call our director, JLW director, Shanuji Jain, to share a few words.
Thank you so much, Purvi. Very good afternoon to each one attending this session, online, offline. It's a pleasure. Firstly, the biggest announcement, Chennai chapter has won the best chapter award across the country with 135 chapters. I think we've been awarded with this, and thanks to Apex for recognizing our work, and to the entire team here, big congratulations, and all the members. I think we all deserve this together. So a big round of applause for all of us. Thank you. And for about the session, I think Jito is all about empowerment. I think that's one of our major goals, and this is what it is. Padhe likhe to hum sab hai, but this is something where women really don't concentrate. We've left it to our husbands, our in-laws, our parents, but we as women have not really touched this topic. And today I think it's a need of the hour. And who better than Divya could do this for us? I've always been in awe of this lady here. She was a Flow president when I joined Flow, and I admire her. A big fan of you, Divya, and can't wait to listen to you. Let's look forward to a great session. Thank you, guys.
We would love to call Priyanka Ji, JLW Apex DigiNari convener, to share a few words with us. We are sharing the Zoom screen. She's not there. Okay. Thank you, Shanuji, for your wonderful words. It's my pleasure to call upon JLW Vice Chairperson Reena Ji Shah to introduce the speaker. Good one.
Thank you, Purvi. Probably in my life, this is the first time, this is the longest introduction I'm probably reading of accomplishments in that sense, I would say. So please, audience, be patient, but it's worth it. Dr. C.A. CMA CS Divya Abhishek was the youngest elected chairperson in the 40-year history of the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industries Ladies Organization, otherwise known as FICCI-FLO, Chennai, for the year 24-25, and was the youngest elected chairperson of the Southern India Regional Council of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India for the year 23-24. Divya is the youngest CMA to achieve this milestone in the history of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India since its inception of 65 years. Dr. C.A. CMA CS Divya Abhishek was recently unanimously elected as the Secretary of SIRC of ICMAI for the year 26-27. Divya has been unanimously conferred with Women's Star of the Year Award by the South Asian Federation of Accounts as the best women accounting professional in Asia, which is a forum of accounting bodies in the SAARC region comprising of 8 countries. I mean, that really calls for applause. Divya is a consistent All India rank holder right from her school days. She is a commerce graduate with masters in financial management. Both her graduation and post-graduation are from the illustrious University of Madras. She is also a graduate of law. An All India rank holder 46, ranked in Chartered Accountancy, and All India rank 23rd in Company Secretary exams. Divya is an associate member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, associate member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountancy of India. She has obtained certification in international tax law and transfer pricing from Leiden University, Netherlands, International Tax Center, under the guidance of world-renowned Professor Kees van Raad, and attended special sessions at Harvard. She has secured All India 4th rank in Advanced Diploma in International Taxation conducted by the Chartered Institute of Taxation, and has also completed Diploma in International Financial Reporting Standards from the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, London. I mean, I am tired, but the paper isn't. Divya has been elected to the Southern India Regional Council of Institute of Cost Accountants of India with a credible margin for the term 23-27. Divya is passionate about women empowerment. She has spearheaded the Committee for Women Empowerment for Hindustan Chamber of Commerce. She has been elected as the President of Women Empowerment Forum of India. The Andhra Chamber of Commerce has recognized Divya for her contribution to the financial sector and women empowerment by honoring her with an Excellence Award on the occasion of 95th Annual Day celebrations of the Chamber. Divya is the Secretary of Society of Cost Accountants and the Treasurer of All India Taxpayers Association. She has been nominated as the first Secretary to the Honorary Council of Zambia in South India. Divya is also a Management Committee member of the prestigious Shiv Nadar International School. She is an Executive Committee member of the Citizens Awareness Forum of India and the youngest ever President of the Inner Wheel of Rotary Club of Madras Next Gen. Divya is a prolific speaker, a TEDx speaker, and has addressed over 3,450 meetings and was recently featured in Economic Times, now telecast in the Leaders for Tomorrow show. She has co-authored a book, Income Tax Ready Referencer, authored a book on corporate social responsibility, and authored the Technical Guide on Social Stock Exchange for the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Divya Abhishek holds various positions in corporate and professional forums. She was the member of the National Committee of Corporate Law and Corporate Governance constituted by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India for the years 21-22 and 22-23. She was also a co-opted member of the Corporate Law Committee of Southern India, Regional Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for a period of 6 years from the year 2015 to 2022, and a committee on international taxation for the year 2018-19 and 26-27. Divya Abhishek has been appointed as the Women Independent Director, Trustee of many companies and trusts. She holds the unique distinction as the youngest woman independent director ever to be appointed on the board of listed companies. Nominated to the Grievance Redressal Committee constituted for GST for Tamil Nadu and Puducherry and nominated by the Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission for formulation of syllabus for competitive examinations. Dr. Tamilachi Tangapandian, Honorable Member of Parliament, South Chennai Constituency, conferred the Yuva Samman Special Award on DA Dr. CMA Divya Abhishek, Chairperson FICCI and Chairperson SIRC of ICMAI. Divya has been nominated as the convener for Finance and Taxation and co-convener for the Young Leadership Committee at FICCI, Tamil Nadu State Council for the term 25-26 and 26-27. She has been appointed as the chairperson for the Women Committee at Hindustan Chamber of Commerce 25-26. Divya was recently conferred with the prestigious Ugadi Puraskar Award 2026 from Arya Vyasa Officials and Professionals Association, Tamil Nadu. Divya was recently appointed as the National Head for Legal and Advocacy for FICCI New Delhi for the year 26-27. Divya has also been appointed as the Women Empowerment Chair for Rotary District 3233, because it's missing here, 3233 for the year 26-27. Please join me in welcoming our very own dynamic speaker, Divya Abhishek.
Oh my God, Divyaji, after listening to all your achievements, we are all speechless. Seriously. Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Reena ji, to introduce the speaker. It's time for the much awaited session by our speaker, Dr. Divyaji Abhishek. Let's welcome her with a big round of applause. Jai Jitendra. Good evening, everyone. Hi. And, my profile might be long, but the true heroes today are Purvi and her team for getting number 1 amongst 135 chapters. Congratulations. It's not easy. In fact, I'm so thankful that her term was after my floor term. Otherwise, I'd have been really stressed today with possibly white hair. So thank you very much for having me here. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Thanks, Shanu. Thanks, Swati, and the whole team. If I should be honest, I was not easy. It was difficult to, fix a date. But I just loved that the team had such a strong resolve and clarity. They knew that this is what they wanted and they got it done. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you once again for having me here and for the wonderful introduction. I think I should take you everywhere I go, for the kind of introduction that you've done. So today's topic is extremely important. And we're going to try to avoid complex legal terminologies because I strongly believe inheritance, succession, wills, all of that is common sense. So we're really going to distill what we're going to learn today in a little bit of interactive session. There are no right or wrong answers, but if you don't give an answer, you'll get picked up, okay? So let's try to, talk about what we think could be it and learn what the right way is also. It could be right as well. There was a North Indian girl and she just finished her 10th standard. This was possibly in the 1990s. She got married, she moved to Chennai. And like any other traditional, household, her education stopped there. And the person that she married was the first generation entrepreneur. So he went on, he set up a very successful travel agency. And during that course of time, she took care of the household, everything. She was the queen of that household, budget, everything else. But her life was confined within those four walls, while her husband went on to conquer the business world, made something out of himself, 100 employees, good travel agency. But suddenly, one untoward morning, he just fell down from the bathroom and passed away on the spot. And for this woman, overnight, the life that she knew changed. Because not only should she fund the two sons' education, they were in 10th standard and 4th standard, but also take care of those 100 employees who she's never seen. She's never even gone to the travel agency or the business company, and also meet potential customers. And this lady does not even know what bank account he has, what the company does, who's the person she has to reach out to. But she rose up to it, and how. And let me tell you, this is a true story of a client that I had. And this is not a story that you'll read in the newspaper or gets flashed out, but I have to tell you, in every Indian family, at least one generation would have faced this. In every street in India, one family will have this story. And the aim of today is to ensure that none of you or your children are ever put in that position where you wake up the next day and not know that fear is real. And it's extremely important that we don't run away from it. There is no, energy or passion saying, oh, I don't know what bank account, I don't want to. In fact, I had a client who says, I asked her, show me your credit card statement. She said, no, it's in my recycle bin. You yourself open, take it. I don't even want to see what I'm spending. We cannot be like that. So this session is to really empower you. So you go back home and ask 7 questions to your spouse or your children saying, where is all this? And then it's a success, right? So increasingly, I think in the earlier times, we could get away with things because we could say, if somebody, finds something wrong in your bank account or some cash has come, somebody is questioning you, you can say, okay, I'll just call my father will know the minister, they will take care of. But today, everything is digitized. You even put 20,000 rupees cash. You don't know what to do with it. You are a very honest person, but it is there. You are still caught. So we are in a regulatory environment where things are totally changing. And generally, if you see, a family is very happy until a property comes in. For example, in this chat, if you see, it's a happy family. One brother is going to US. So everyone is saying, missing you, wishing you all the very best. And then he leaves the group. Everyone is happy. Then suddenly something happens and there is a property dispute. The brother comes back and says, my lawyer advised me not to leave the group. And the other brother replies, don't add your lawyer to the group, otherwise I will add my lawyer to the group and he will talk a lot. It might sound, what is this? But it is real. Many families disintegrate when there is a dispute. And in order for us to avoid this situation, the husband that passed away from the travel agency, if only he had told his wife, written it somewhere, or had a conversation with her wife, she wouldn't have felt how she felt the next day, right? So today, if you see, when I told you that this situation happens in every Indian household, as of today, there's about 62,000 crore amount with the government because there are property disputes and the family is yet to decide who gets that money. There is about 25,000 crore, 35,000 crores in stock and mutual funds which actually belong to somebody. That person passed away. 68 years later, the family is still fighting. So the government is holding it in the court on their behalf. So the values are very high. It is not just that, it'll all be okay. It is very important. And the reason this is important, ultimately, whatever you own, you can stay in a big house, whatever it is, ultimately, every family needs money. They need liquidity. And when it comes to a dispute, you think you owe something. something you expect and that has not come through, right? So which is why it's important we understand 4 things. One is, what do I own today? 2, if I want to give this during my lifetime when I'm alive or after I pass away, how do I do it? And 3, how do I ensure whether I'm there or not, people are not fighting? So when I say liquidity, it reminds me of a story. See, there was a book publisher. He publishes books. So he wanted to do a market survey on how books influence the life of people. So he's taking survey around every house. Now he meets a very famous woman. She's number 1 in India in her business. She's the managing director. So he goes to her and he says, Madam, I have one question. She says, yes, tell me. So he says, if there is one book that really influenced your life, because of which you became successful, what will that book be? So immediately this lady says, yeah, there is a book. So he says, tell me, madam. He wants to write it down. And the lady says, it's my husband's checkbook. So wherever you go, ultimately what is there as an asset is very, very important. So the first concept that we're going to talk about is gift. Gift is an easy way. Assume you come for my birthday. What do you give me? You can shout out. Bag, you give me a gift. What do? You choose yourself and you come and give it to me, correct? The concept is same. Gift is you have love and affection. You want to give somebody something, so you give them a gift. So we're going to analyze the different scenarios of what could be right. Now let's take the first scenario. You don't have to look at the PPT. I will give you the PDF. Don't worry, it is a lot more detailed. So the only line I know in Hindi is Mujhe Hindi nahi malum. So I am very sorry. I will go slow. If you want me to repeat something, you can put your hand up. Okay? So I will really try. Is it okay? Is the speed okay for all of you? Okay. Thank you. So hopefully by next year I come back learning some Hindi along with my son who is in 4th standard. But yeah. So let's take a scenario. You have one son. Okay? It is the mother and son. Husband is no more. Son is taking care of you very well. Okay? So you are living with him. You are 60. Son is prime. He is in his 40s. You got married early. So you decide you want to show your appreciation to him. So you say, listen, this house is in my name only, but I will gift it to you. No problem. Because you are anyway taking care of me. Correct? Then the son gets married. 10 years later, you are not comfortable. You feel that you are not being treated well. Okay? So you go to the son and you say, you please give my gift back. After I die, take it, but give it back. Can you do it? How many of you say yes? How many of you say no? How many of you are still assessing my Hindi talent? Okay. Now please remember, go back to our example. You come for my birthday party. You give me a Prada bag. Okay. Next year we are not friends. You have gone and spoken about me. I don't like you anymore. Can you come back and ask me? No. Correct? Can you, before you gift it to my birthday, for my birthday lunch, can you say, you are treating me in E-Hotel, but this bag is very costly. Give me the difference. Can you ask me for money? No. So you cannot. And it's very important. Right? You think out of love and affection, you gifted it. You can never take it back. This is law. What I'm saying is law. I'm just positioning it in an easier way. Okay? Now let's take a second scenario. One mother, one daughter, one son. Okay? You give the gift to your son. Now when you generally give a gift, if you give me a bag, I don't have to do anything. It becomes mine. If you give me a house as a gift, you have to go register it. Okay? There is a document. So first the mother loves the son. So she gives him that property. Okay? Now suddenly she realizes the son is married, business doing well, but her daughter has nothing. She is widowed. That means her husband passed away. She has nothing. So now, can the mother go back and say, this property can go to my daughter? Wait. Second point, the mother, before doing that, she goes to the registrar where you register. She notices that they have not updated. It is still in her name. They have missed updating. So can she now go and tell the registrar, my name only you have updated. Give this to my daughter. Who says yes? Who's saying no? As much as we love the daughter, no. The minute you gift something to somebody, you cannot do anything with it. It is theirs. Whatever they do, it is their choice. You have no option of what you can do with it. So, now let's take the last scenario. Okay? So, usually I put Tamil jokes because this was Jeeto. I literally Googled, then I Googled what the Hindi line meant, and then this is how I spent my time more than the presentation. But, so, let's take a scenario. Father got a property in 1980s. Okay? His wife is a housewife. She is not working. So, from his earnings, hard-earned earnings, he put in 20 lakhs. He got a land. And he told, this is for you, wife. He says, this is a gift for you. Okay? In 2026, the father passed away. Who owns the property? Mother. Wife. So the wife loves the eldest son because he is in India, gives her laddu, meets her. So she, in 3 months after the death of the father, the mother, that is the wife, gives the property to her eldest son. Now the younger son is in US. So when he gets to know of this, he says, no, you cannot do it. Can she do it? Who says she can't? So guys, you are a very ethical forum, but law is not very ethical. So please understand, it is no. When you, guys, when you gift something, nobody can question it. It is your choice. If you come, give me a Pondi Bazaar bag, and if I take it, it becomes a gift. If you give me a Prada bag, it's mine. You can never come and question it. It is my choice. Now, can you take a stand and say, see, that entire 20 lakhs only father earned. Correct? It is, the wife did not earn it. And in the father's will, he has said everything goes equally for both my sons. Can you question it? Guys, you cannot. When a gift is given out of unconditional love and affection, that is the only criteria. There is no criteria that I earn, you earn, nothing. The father decided in 1980 to give it to the mother, that's it. You cannot question it. We have disputes. We have 62,000 crores sitting with the government because you can go dispute. You will go to court, say, no, my mother liked both of us equally. All that you can say. But ultimately, by law, it is gone. Okay? Now let's take the last scenario. Okay? Let's take a scenario where you are the wife. Children are, they don't bother. They're okay with whatever decision you make. You got everything from your husband. Okay? Now you have a trusted CA and that person is helping you understand what property, everything. So you want to pay that person. But your husband just passed away. You don't have money. You have property. You have gift. So you tell the CA, hey, I will just gift this to you. Okay, whatever your service, that same value, this property, this land is there, I'll just gift that land to you. Can you do that? How many yes? How many no? Answer is no. You can never gift something in expectation of a consideration. What I mean by that is, if someone is doing a service, you can pay them, you can settle them. It cannot be gift. You please keep going back to the bag example and understand whether you can attend somebody's and say, I owe 1,000 rupees for lunch, take the bag, this is 1,000 rupees. Will they accept? They'll say, you please pay me, I'll buy myself. Thank you. Correct? So you can never do gift with an expectation of conditions. What are some aspects? You need a gift deed. This is very, very critical. Let's take a scenario where you gift your daughter a house. You sign the gift deed and you register the gift deed. Is it valid? No. Unless the receiver also signs, it has to be accepted. Otherwise, it is not valid. Okay? And how many of you, I mean, all of you will know her, right? This is a real case that happened. Who's this, guys? Thank you. So basically, he gifted Shilpa Shetty in 2020 12.5 crores. Okay, he gifted her 12.5 crores. There is a deed. Both of them have signed it. Allowed? Who are all saying allowed? Who are all saying not allowed? Both signed. Registered also. Allowed? Okay, allowed. Now, no tax. Gift given by husband to wife or children or parents, no tax. But our Shilpa Shetty got a notice to pay 6 crores tax. Okay? And the reason she got it was, they said there is a gift deed. He's saying I've given 12 crores, but there's no proof that he actually transferred that money. There's no proof that he actually got that money. The husband got the money, paid tax on it. There's no proof. So very, very important. And I want to say this because all my clients, when I see that woman's bank account, no, suddenly some 3 crore will come, 4 crore will go out. I'm like, where is it coming from? No idea. Who gave you? No idea. Something. Please don't. Whenever you get money, understand. Because tomorrow, 4 years later, you will be given in a beautiful plate an income tax notice, which she is fighting as of date. Right? So you cannot say, I don't know, my husband gave it, I was just looking, I was, working out with a yoga mantra. You cannot say that. You have to, pay a tax. It's very, very, very important. Okay? Now, can I make a gift to a non-resident? Non-resident means they don't live in India, they live abroad. Can I give gift? Why, guys? If I move to US, you won't give me a bag. You can give. There is no restriction. You give gift to anybody. If you give gift to your family, which is your husband, which is your spouse, children, parents, no tax. Anything beyond that, the person who receives it has to pay. So you don't worry. If you want to give me a gift, you can give it to me. No problem. Okay? Now, who's this? Now, this person owned Raymond's Group. Okay? And he created an empire of 12,000 crores. Alright? Now, what he did, when he was 50 and his son was coming, only son, he said, hey, you take my shares in Reliance. It's 12,000 crores worth. Take it. Where you're anyway going to run the business. That's what my father did for me. You take it. I'll gift it to you. And he gifted it to him. Right? And this son eventually threw him out of his own house. Okay? He put him in an apartment and gave him like some 1 lakh monthly allowance, threw him out of the business. Is he allowed to do that? The answer is yes. Father gifted it. Can father take it back? No? So it's the most talked about issue. So please remember why I'm talking so much about gift. A lot of my clients, think it is the easiest way, because giving gift is easy. You just have to one day wake up out of love and affection, tell your son, take it. Then he'll get it registered. And tomorrow you might, I'm not saying it should happen to you. I'm saying the risk is very real. That if something were to happen 20 years later, it could happen. So if you ever want to gift someone something, you can gift me a bag, but please don't gift your assets. Do not gift your assets during your lifetime. Okay? You hold it. So what are the ways that you can plan? We will go through today. But it's very important, because the minute you gift something, so of course now in 2026, people started noticing, because especially people in the rural areas, our maids, they don't know will, they don't know how to create all that. So they just sign on the gift and give it. So the court has come out and said, if someone does that, where a parent is gifting to the child, and the parent is 60 years or above, and the child throws them out, it is the duty of the child to ensure to provide maintenance to the parents. But believe me, if someone from Raymond, who had a 12,000 crore, gets a 1 lakh allowance, you and I will get maybe 10,000 or 20,000. Okay? So it is not worth it. Very, very important. Even if your spouse says, let's gift it, you have to question. Unless you know in your mind, even without that property, you are very okay. Hold on to it. There is another way in which you can actually gift. And so I've already told you your gift deed, can it have a condition? So now, I've told you all this, but it's the easiest way. When you go register that gift deed, can you just add a clause and say, I'm gifting this, but in my lifetime, I want you to give all this to me. Can you? Who says no? Guys, the answer is no. Can you gift me a bag and say, listen, I'm giving you this bag, but you cannot put a keychain on the bag. You cannot emboss your name on the bag. Can you do that? Same logic. What will happen is tomorrow, if somebody goes and says, no, she's put a condition, the court will say, you cannot put a condition. It is not a valid gift. Okay, in very few cases where it says, I need a maintenance or something, it's allowed, but you don't need that. Okay. So what is the way in which you can gift? You want to do it. The only way you should do it is by a settlement deed. Settlement is the same concept of gift, but when you settle, you can put conditions. Okay? So if you ever want to give a property or anything of yours, which is of huge value, which tomorrow if your family suddenly COVID happens, you won't have money. If you want that, then you can do a settlement deed where you still love your children. You give it to them, but you say during my lifetime, it is mine. After I pass away, it is yours. Please always only opt for a settlement deed, never do a gift deed. We'll go through that. So what we will do, I will finish the session and I will give you guys some time to ask whatever questions you have. Okay. Now the second part, okay, I've told you what you cannot do, but you spent your afternoon with me, tell me something that I can do, right? And that is your succession planning. It's very, very important. And generally, even in the welcome address, you're saying, it's Rakhi, it's time to buy things. Reminded me of an instance. See, a person lost his credit card. So he went to the police station to make a complaint. Okay. So the police says, yes, tell me what happened. So he says, sir, I lost my credit card. So police saying, when did you lose it? So he said, just 3 months back. So the police said, are you a fool? 3 months back you lost your credit card. Why are you coming today? Is it a good day? He said, no, sir. The 3 months, the bill that I was paying for the credit card was lesser than what my wife spent. So he said, then why are you complaining now? If you're paying lesser bill than your wife, why are you coming now? So he said, no, sir. Now I think the thief's wife is spending on it. Okay. So it's a very common, misconception that women spend. But I strongly believe that we have to turn it in its head. It's okay to spend. It's okay to, do what you want to do. All of us are earning to do that. But it's equally important to plan. It is very, very important to understand and to plan. All right. And that's why today we are going to talk about wills and succession planning. Now, what is a will, guys? Okay, before we go to that, why do we need this? Because the minute someone passes away, the bank will freeze your accounts. Whatever is yours is frozen the minute you pass away. Nobody can access it. Okay, unless they have proof. What is that proof? Death certificate. Okay, you have death certificate. Can I legal heir certificate? Nominee. Will. So what is a will? Somebody writes a will and says, when I die, this is what you need to do. That is a document. We will go through all the details. Whoever has questions, write it down. I will take it from you. I just don't want to cut the flow of the session. Okay. So let's take the first example. One man has 2 sons and 1 wife. Okay. Now he has lot of properties. He has a bungalow, he has 3 movable properties, he has jewelry, funds, shares. Okay. He is very fond of his sons. So he wants to give everything equally to his 2 sons. Okay. He passes away. Who gets the shares? Who gets the wealth? Wife. 3 daughters. Okay. So by law, because he's not done anything, he wishes it, he's told his children, because he's not done anything, by law, when a man passes away, whatever he owns will go to 4 people, not 3. 4. His mother, his wife, and his children. Assuming 2 children. 1 children means 3 people. Pavam, that father, he gets nothing. But it goes to these 4 people. Now assume if a woman passes away, who gets her shares? Her mother? Right? So when a woman passes away, her husband and children only get the shares. Now assume this woman is widowed and does not have children. Who gets her shares? Who gets her wealth? Her father's side. So the person who gets, for a married woman who is no more, whose husband is not there, children are not there, entirely will go to her in-laws. Okay, by law. Alright. Now let's take a second scenario. So, I will give you the PPT. This is just for us to understand the concepts. Let's take a scenario where one man, 2 sons, 1 daughter, 1 wife. Man wants to give everything to the 2 sons. Man passes away. Who gets his wealth? So 5 of them will get. Who 5? Mother, wife, sons and daughter. Correct? So this is very, very, very important to know. Now let's take a scenario where that man has nobody. The 5 of them, nobody is there. He surpassed, lived a good life. Who gets it? No. It will entirely go to that father. Pavam, at least at a second level, the father will get. If the father is not there, then all these great grandchildren and all of them. Okay, so this is how that gets split. Now, what if that daughter is adopted? So, what is the scenario? 1 man, 2 sons, 1 wife, 1 adopted daughter. Now, who will get the shares when he dies? All will get. So, the court doesn't care. If you have adopted, go ahead. Now, what if 1 man, 2 sons, 1 illegitimate daughter, 1 wife? Who says will get? Who says will not get? Will get. Because the court says, listen, you did something wrong. What did the daughter do? So in my eye, she is equal. Okay? So, that, no. Because, why? Because they're not married. If he married twice, then there could be a dispute. But because it's an illegitimate child, sometimes you might not know the mother, sometimes you'll know, so the court doesn't recognize it. Okay? Now, I think I already told you, wife, no children, dies, goes to the in-laws. Is that fair? The wife is with her parents and it doesn't happen, which is why we always say, don't leave it in the hands of law. Please take a paper and you write down in your own words what you wish to do. Alright? And that's what is called as a will. Now let's take a scenario where there is a inter-religion marriage. Okay? Let's take a scenario where there is a man who is married. There is a woman, your daughter, is married to a Christian. Okay? Now, that man passes away. Who gets his wealth? Same situation. 2 sons, 1 wife. Wife, kids, mother. No. The mother will not get. When there is an inter-religion marriage and there is no conversion, right? We are now talking about Hindu Succession Act. You can no longer follow Hindu Succession Act. It goes into Indian Succession Act, which only says wife and kids. Alright? So this is why maybe the mother-in-law will stop some inter-religion marriage and all, no? Could be for this also. So now be smarter. If your children have inter-religion marriage, you say convert to Hindu today. Otherwise, give me the property before you get married. Right? So this is why you cannot do that. Now, will your answer change if I write a will and say everything goes to my illegitimate daughter? My entire property, 100%, goes to my illegitimate daughter. Absolutely, yes. It can go, which is why writing a will is the least expensive, easiest way to ensure that you have the right succession planning. Now, this could be technical, but it's very important you understand it because all of you will likely have it. There are 2 kinds of properties. One is a property where you worked, using your money, you acquire, you buy. That is called self-acquired property. Self-acquired property. There is another type. You didn't do anything. By virtue of being born to the right family, you got properties from your great-great-grandfathers. That is called ancestral property. Okay? Why it is not inherited is, you can inherit from your father. But in an ancestral property, it has to come from your great-grandfather. It has to cross 4 generations for that property to be an ancestral property. Now, why is this important? We'll understand with an example. Okay? There is a man, he has own acquired one property, 10 lakhs. He has ancestral property of 50 crores. He writes a will. Total 50 crore 10 lakh entirely goes to my illegitimate daughter. Allowed? Will registered, signed? Okay. Now, forget illegitimate daughter. Entire 50 crore 10 lakhs goes to my wife. Part of same family. The answer is no. And the reason is, when there is an ancestral property, by birth, not just the man, he'll have brothers, siblings, everyone gets a share. So you can give your share, your part of that share, which will be maybe 10 lakhs or the 100 relatives who own that property. That 10 lakhs you can give it to your wife fully in the will, but you cannot give the entire 50 crore to your wife. So that is the difference between, so you need to understand. So you might think, I'm from a very big family, we have so much property, passed on from generations, tomorrow business fails, no problem, sell and close. No. You cannot sell an ancestral property because it is not fully yours. By birth, whichever nana, nani, whoever acquires it, it has to go to all of them. And most cases, big families, highest dispute for this. Because suddenly one very smart cousin will be there who will write away that property to one sister. So please remember, you need to understand what you actually own. It will not be 50 crores. How much of the 50 crore is mine from this property is very, very important to understand. Now the second most common thing is joint bank account. How many of us here have joint bank accounts? Everyone. Last week I had a client. Her mother is very unwell. She's 90 years old. She's also 60, my client. So I said, what have you done? Because everything is in mother's name. She said, no problem. Everything is joint account. No problem. Something happens to my mother. Everything is mine. Correct? She's a nominee of the account. Everything is hers. Correct? Guys, I think very often, guys, can I have your attention please? Thank you. Very often, people assume if my husband puts me as nominee, it is mine. Right? I want to do this with an example actually. Husband and wife hold a joint account. Either of survivor, we'll go to that later. But both of them have equal access. Account has 1 lakh. Husband passes away. Wife has access, takes the 1 lakh. Allowed? Guys, when a husband passes away without a will, who are the people who get his wealth? So, when you have a joint account, 50% is yours. 50,000 wife can take. But the balance 50,000 goes to 4 people. Mother, wife, children. Many times, many families think that I have joint account. I am able to access. That's enough. No. You have to have a will. Otherwise, you have to prepare yourself and say, when something happens, 50% only is mine in the joint account. And also when your banker gives, there are so many names, even I get confused. But for ease of use, the best one to go for is either or survivor. That means either of them or whoever survives can access the account. Okay? So either or survivor should be always selected when you open a joint account. Please check this. Many times they just say joint account, joint tick. That means every time both of you need to sign. So tomorrow if your husband passes away, will he be there to sign it? So unless you selected either or survivor in your bank account, you cannot really open it without the court giving a direction which will take another 8 to 10 months. So it's very, very important to select the right options. I've already told you nominee cannot override your succession law. Now the third part, which I think is going to be very important, is to finally come to will. And you might think, okay, I don't have much assets. From a large Ambani family, maybe I can do a will. The answer is even that Ambani family, they've not done a will. Which is why for 20 years, the brothers fought tooth and nail. Right? Because you never know when something is going to happen. In fact, I want all of you to go check with your parents, check with your spouse. Have you written a will? It is very important. And you yourself, please write a will. And if you say to write the will, how do I do it? Because very often people think it's a very complex task. You know, they need somebody to call. The answer is there are enough people who will do it, but I cannot come and say what bags you own, what jewelry you own. You need to have the list of that to employ somebody to do it. So today I'm going to distill and tell you what this is. If you have to get your will done, what are the potential things that you need to be informed about? Okay, and then you can decide whether you want to write it or not. Now, let's take a scenario where husband and wife, okay, living very happily with a dog. They call him Cookie. They have 2 children. Both children gone to United States, United Kingdom. No touch with the children. So they feel that the dog, that Cookie that they have is what's theirs, right? Husband passes away, all the things, wife, he's written a will, everything comes to the wife. Now the wife has made a will saying the entire house where they're living, 52 crore, goes to Cookie. Real scenario. Allowed or not allowed? Cookie took care. Cookie was there. When the wife had no friends, Cookie was there for her. Allowed, not allowed? Allowed. So you all have Cookie. So please remember, it's actually happened. There's an angry family, the farmer gives everything to the dog. You cannot. Dog is not a person. But in your will, you can write and say, to the extent of 20 lakhs every year has to be given for Cookie's maintenance and supplies. Cookie can get through a will for his maintenance. Cookie cannot take your checkbook. Okay? So if you have that Cookie in your life, you have hope still. Now, can I put a clause? I've written a will. Okay? I have 4 kids. They love each other but keep fighting. So I decide in my head, this goes to this. Can I put a clause? Can I write in my will and say, if someone is fighting on my will, they don't get anything? Can I say that? I think this is a very kind ethical group, but you can say that. In fact, there's a real case where in the Tata group, right, there's a person named Mohini Datta who's outside the family but took care of Ratan Tata. So Ratan Tata gave 1/3 of his wealth to him, which was worth some 588 crores. This fellow decided to go and ask questions, how that value was arrived at. But Ratan Tata had put in his will and said, if anyone contests my will, they get nothing. So he went, he took the papers back, took 588 crores and left. Okay, so you can put a clause. In fact, I urge you to put that clause. Because the minute you have that will and if you say, if anyone fights, they don't get anything, they will not fight. They will accept it and move on. They will not say ECR is valued more, Alvar Pete given me, they won't do that. Okay? Now, did you do that? You can will it to me, I'll take care. Now, this is another scenario. This is in Amethi, this palace, I forgot its name. But he was a very popular politician where he married the first woman, okay, had 2 kids. He then divorced her and married another woman. Okay, the title of that palace, I think his name is Suraj Singh or something, is in his name. Okay, him and his second wife owned that property. Now what happened? The first wife, no, she tried to reach out, no response, nothing. So what she did one day, she took all her bags, moved to Amethi inside the palace with her 2 children. This is a true case. Now, who owns the property? Both the wives. He got a divorce. So guys, please understand, this is a very unique case where, because there was a dispute, but by virtue of occupation, and the entire village of Amethi supported this wife. In fact, both the wife, the divorced and that second wife stood for contesting, and the wife won, the One who got divorced, one also through BJP. So this is a true story where sometimes if it gets so complicated, where you are cheated, that wife who got divorced went and proved to the court and said, he divorced me within a month to take the property. So the court said, yes, you are allowed to occupy the place. You have a share. The reason I'm saying this is law sometimes could be illogical. There's no emotion, there's no ethics. There are ways, if you document, if you have proof of not being treated, of being cheated, to go to the court to still get your rightful share. Does a will have to be on stamp paper? Answer is no. Nobody cares. You don't have to do anything. You can write it in this e-hotel paper, sign it, it will still be valid. Okay, that's why a will is so simple. Does a will have to be registered? Will does not have to be registered, but why I urge you to register is tomorrow. You write in the e-hotel, your maid thinks it's waste, tears it and throws it. Or tomorrow, you write in a good sheet, in your nice neat notebook, but one daughter is not happy, so she erases the diamond carat, one number, and takes it for herself. You can always verify it with the court records. So please always register it. You might think it is a process. I think it is very, very important to do it. But it is valid. Does a will have to be in English? It need not be. It can be in any language. Okay? Now, when I told you about settlement, which is better? Will or settlement? Guys, there is a property. Okay? One property I own, nothing else. Will I do it through a will or will I do it through a settlement? Settlement. Okay. What I want to say is both are not comparable. What is a settlement? Settlement means you're giving the ownership on that day. That day you're drafting, ownership is gone, but you're saying, I will live till in that property, but it is yours. A will come into existence only after you pass away. So, can I take this will and say, I own the property, I own the property? The answer is no. I have to take the will, take my legal heir certificate, go to the registrar, get that change done. Can I take a settlement and say, I own the property, I own the property? Yes. Because it is settled. I'll show the registrar, he'll settle it that day itself. I don't have to wait till you pass away to go get it settled. Alright? This is the key difference. Can a settlement deed be made with conditions? It can very well be made. Now I've already told you life interest. What does that mean? You can put in your settlement or in your will and say, till when my wife is alive, it goes to her, after that to my children. Can you do that? For the will also? For gift? Who's the person who said yes? Okay. Now, can I give a larger share to one child? In my settlement? In my will? You can. You can definitely give that. Can I make change to the will? You have registered, notarized, everything. Can I make change? If I'm alive, I can. You can make a change. Can I make a change to my settlement deed? I register, I make a change, I settle it. Can I make a change? You cannot. Boss, you have given it away. It is not yours. No. You can never make a change to a settlement deed. You can write and say, give me this, that. You cannot then go and say, no, I forgot. I need 10 lakhs more. You cannot say. Now, all this, you will get it. Okay, so it is what is important. Now, what I urge you, especially for women, and only you will know what jewelry you own, right? Please, if you can, take pictures. and put it in the will and say this goes to this goes to that. Many times it is very difficult for children to understand which ancestral heirloom property you're talking about, right? So it becomes a lot of confusion, lot of dispute between siblings. Your will, you can write it however you want. Please take pictures. Please put specifically what you want to give to whom. It will just make the life easier. Now you finished your will, okay? Everything done. You forgot to include one bank account which has your PPF. What do? You draft a will again? Okay, you amended it. Then 1 week later, after you amended, one new property you purchased. Will you go amend it? So in a year, you will keep amending your will. Guys, what I recommend is always have a clause which says, whatever I have missed, my total asset goes to XYZ in this proportion, whatever I have missed. This is very, very important to have this clause. Because there can be a scenario you pass away and one bank account you have missed. Okay? Who will it go to? Who will it go to? 4 people if you're a man. If you're a woman, 3 people. So it will again go to the children and husband, if not to the father-in-law, mother-in-law. So please, you can forget, it's very normal to forget. You can have a residuary clauses, this goes in this proportion to all these people. Now now let's take a scenario where you wrote a will. Okay? The husband is giving everything to the wife. But anti-climax, wife passed away before the husband. What happens? So guys, this clause is also very important, where in your will, you will say, if this, my entire property goes to my wife first, but if my wife predeceases, that is dies before me, then it will go to XYZ. When you put in these things, you don't have to keep thinking, where is my will? What should I change? What do I do? No. You can do that. Now, there was a scenario where a client, very well-knowledge, big client, passed away, wrote a will, kept the will very safely in the bank locker. But unfortunately, nobody knows the password to that bank locker. So much so, it did not go per the will, it went to the 4 people. Please understand, you can be careful, but be smart. You cannot if you can't give your password to somebody, ensure that you inform or you take a copy. Don't keep it somewhere where nobody can access, and the point of writing it is lost. It is not accessible, then it's not valid. Or you're all fighting to break the bank locker, bank is not going to allow you to do that. So it'll take another 20 years before you realize what you want, by which time great grandchildren would have come through. Correct? So very, very important to know what it is. And the second point, when you write a will, you need to have 2 witnesses. Okay? Now assume I am the father, I am giving my entire property to my wife and 2 children. I am telling them, being transparent, I am asking my 2 children to sign, to be the witness. Allowed? No. Generally, a person who is getting anything from the will cannot be a witness. It can be questioned. So it can be anyone, it can be your cousin, whoever, but ensure that the witness is independent. And second, tomorrow anything people can question. So I always recommend, if you have heavy assets, get a doctor's certificate on that day that you were of sane mind. You will think, what is this? You're talking like this. No. They can say she was having alcohol previous night in a cultural thing. Anything they can say. So always get a doctor's certificate, get an independent witness. Now third, which is very important, is to have an executor. What that means is, you say all these points, somebody has to do it, no? So you have to say, I appoint this person. Usually they put lawyers or CAs to ensure that this is done. It is their duty to do it. Now if the executor dies before You, what happens? Because all good CS are old guys. So always have 3 people. If this person or this person or this person, whoever that is. So that it will go in that same order. Can you write a will with your hand? Allowed. Please ensure your handwriting is legible. Can a person have multiple wills? The will has a very strong rule. Whatever is the latest will, that is final. They call it codicil. Every time there's a change, whatever is the latest will, that is final. Now let's take a scenario. In 2019, I registered my will. After that, in that 1 year, no, daughter-in-law didn't serve good tea. Lot of issues. So cutting off. 2020, I write changing that will, cutting off that daughter-in-law. Okay. Which will is valid? One is registered. Please remember, for will, they don't care whether you're registering stamp paper. They don't care if you write in a tissue also. Whatever is the latest dated valid will, that will take precedence over everything else. Okay. Now, I've already told you the different acts. Now, in your will, can you say, I own a house in UK, Purvi assume owns it. Can she write that in your Indian will about that property also? Yes, no? Answer is yes. But what I advise, always try to have it as a separate settlement. The reason is, if you just say all my properties goes to XYZ, and there's a property abroad, the policies, the way in which you transfer abroad is very different from India. And because one thing is not done, everything else will have to be in hold for that many years. So it's advised for your will, keep it to Indian properties. If you have properties abroad, settle it. Don't put it through a will because the others will go through a lot. Does will act as a legal heir certificate? What is a legal heir certificate? Someone dies, these 4 people are your legal heirs. Court will say that. Can a will act like a legal heir certificate? Well, I've specified, no, these people have to take my things. The answer is no. Don't get confused between will and legal heir. Legal heir is always separate. You always need legal heir certificate. It's better that way. Now the last part is going to be trust, and I'm going to quickly run through it because it could be confusing and it might not apply to everybody. Now generally, when you go for a trust is, assume you have a large business, okay, and everybody in the family owns 20%, 25%, 4 brothers, 25% each. Now the person who started the business could be your grandfather or great-grandfather. He feels that the shares of this entity should be only within the family. But assume that you are someone, you don't like family and all. You want to give that 25% to your best friend. Can you do that through a will? Where you say, my 25% share goes to my best friend, Lalita. Can you do that? You can. Will it hurt your other siblings? They have to work with Lalita suddenly. Will it affect them? So in such situations, what families do is they form a trust. To the extent of shares of the business, they will put that business shares into the trust. Why they do that is, tomorrow you cannot will. Once it's gone to the trust, it's not yours. You will own it till the trust is there. When you pass away, they will figure, the trust will figure who it goes to. So in most families, that's why you see they formed a trust, because it's a large entity, they want to keep the holding. They don't want it to keep transferring hands. They want to control it. The person who formed it can control it by a trust deed. So this is the logic of a trust. I'm not going to get into it because I want to also spend some time taking questions. But if anyone has specific questions, I'm happy to answer it during the Q&A for a trust. So I think there are several ways. One is a will, one is a gift deed, one is a trust, you have nomination, and there are other ways. Now, when I do this session, they say, okay, everything you have said, but I don't know what I own. Without knowing, how will I plan my succession? Where can I find what I own? Then only I can even write a will, correct? So today, in the age of digitization, There are several ways you can find out what you own. One is if you see your income tax return, usually it will say what your assets are, what your bank account details are. But we are very smart Indians, we want to save. So we might not show everything in that return, right? So if you want to see where your post office saving is, use the Finacle software. If you want to see who has the investments, I will share this with you, you can go through it, but there's an NSDL portal where you can put it in and search for things. So it's very important that we understand what is owed to us. Thank you very much for being a very patient audience. I must say this charter is very ethical because none of you are giving me unethical answers, right? So it was wonderful having such an interactive session. If you have any doubts, please feel free. I think you have another. Good job. Very, very good job. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Can the beneficiaries question the settlement
No.
deed?
So when you settle, whoever you settle to has to sign.
Yeah, if they have not signed.
If they're not signed, it's not a valid settlement.
But then
When you settle,
the property holder is gone. Then it is questionable.
yeah, it is not questionable.
It's
There
done.
is no
That's all.
settlement. It will go to his four people: mother, wife, 2 children.
No, the mother has done the settlement deed,
So if
but
it's a
the mother has died after
it
doing
will go
that.
to a husband and kids in equal
No, the
share.
husband is also not there, so it goes as per the
Husband's
settlement.
parents.
No one can question the settlement.
So, to your question, if you make a settlement, a
Yeah.
valid settlement, the person who is giving and the person who is accepting has to sign. If that is signed and registered, it is the settlement.
I had a scenario where the mother had given it to the 4 children and they were not happy among them, but the mother did not tell anyone about the settlement deed. She just went and registered and finished it off. It was brought to the children. So nothing can happen about it.
The children can take it to the court to question and say this is not a valid settlement because I was not aware of it.
But who will fight for it now?
The children.
The people who got it don't want to. So only
Yeah, so
one
you can
who
put
wants
up-
to will
you
fight.
can, yeah.
Okay. And you were telling about a daughter getting married to another religion.
Yeah.
So in my case, my daughter married a Muslim.
Hmm.
So now she has not converted.
Nah.
So any questions on
Whatever is her ancestral property, which
yeah,
is
we
by
don't have
birth,
any.
goes to her. But whatever is self-acquired
Yeah.
will go through the Muslim law because her children will be Muslims, right?
No, I'm not talking about her property or her thing. I'm talking about my own property. Will the son-in-law who is a Muslim and my daughter who is a Jain, she is not converted to Muslim. Will there be any problem in my property?
There won't be, but
Yeah.
I highly recommend for you to write a will.
Yeah, my will I have done so.
Let it
Yeah.
be specific to who you want to give it to. There'll be no problem.
Okay, but then no one else can interfere after writing it.
No. If you have a registered, dated, 2-witness will, nobody can question it.
Okay. One more question was about the live-in relationship. Many men have so many live-in relationships. The wife is there, the children are there, but live-in relationship, like mostly we see in the actors field, you know, how far they have the right over the man's property.
So, as I said, when it's not a registered marriage, you don't become an heir. But
Yeah.
if you have a child out of that live-in relationship, that illegitimate child will have a share.
Yeah, because live-in relationship have become very legal in India nowadays.
It's not fully legal,
Yeah.
but if
No.
it is actually a smart thing,
I heard it has become legal in some of the issues what I had read it. That's why I asked.
there is more liberal stand taken by the court, but not when it comes to inheritance. No.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All the business, everything is in the mother's name. It's crores of property. But mother Okay, I'll ask you once again. There is a mother, father, and 5 children. each and every property and the business, everything in the mother's name. But the mother expires. There is no will. So whether the property goes to all the children or it will go only to the husband who is alive.
I'm going to have someone in the crowd answer this. Yes, it will go to 6. Husband and all the children.
No, it will go to husband and all the children.
In
5
equal
children
proportion.
and-
6.
Okay.
1/6.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
There were 2 sons, and the father has written in the language. There is some property which is there, but the family was not aware. And the second, he's mentioned clearly in that, ask the second son. But he is telling, I don't know anything. In that case, how do you proceed with such a...
So, this is very similar to the Sun TV case where the Dayanidhi Maran, Kalanidhi Maran are fighting because their father, when he was in Apollo, he wrote out the entire Sun TV shares to Kalanidhi Maran. So, in such situations, you can take it to court. If you have proof that he was admitted in Apollo, he was not stable, provided the father who wrote the will is not attaching a doctor's certificate that he is fine, which is also signed by the witness. If he attaches that certificate and if 2 witness independent have signed it, you don't have a case. But if you are able to take it to court and prove that in this period he was admitted, this is the bill of Apollo, this was not made correctly, so it has to go to the legal air, there could be a good case for you.
Yeah, and one more question. The Shilpa Shetty case you said, she had received a gift. So how is she answerable? Only the husband should be answerable to the whether it's...
So she received 12 crores, but the income the husband admitted to income tax that year was 20 lakhs. So as far as income tax is concerned, I don't care who gave it to you. It's come to you as an income. If you are not able to prove how you got it or if you actually got it, then I can tax you.
But
It doesn't matter. If you are not able to prove, see, if the husband is earning 3 crores, given her 10 lakhs, giving the bank statement, saying this is the proof, gift deed, then I accept. But she is not able to show the bank statement. She is not able to prove that where the husband got that money to give her, but it's sitting in a bank account. And she's not paying tax on it. So Mumbai Tribunal, she'll go to High Court. Maybe in 3 years, if we do a session, we can see what finally happened. But it can be disputed. The point that I want to drive, not what Shilpa Shetty did, but to say that when you get random amounts, be wary.
There are questions in Zoom. If an unmarried daughter dies, who gets the property?
So, guys, anyone wants to answer? Unmarried daughter dies, who gets the property? The parents, her parents. It goes to her parents. No siblings, her parents. Mother and father get equal.
The next question is, any basic options to will, those who are not able to register will?
So you don't have to register a will. You can write a will, sign it, date it, have 2 witnesses, it's a valid will. If you register it, easy for the people because they cannot say no, her handwriting is not legible. They cannot say no, it's not fair because some third party has said yes, it is valid.
So the next question is related to the first question, that is, if an unmarried daughter dies, who gets the property? She's asked again, of the unmarried daughter, since she has the amount in the bank and other assets. The parents.
The parents.
Okay.
Whether it is a bag, whether it is jewelry, whether it's money or a property, it goes in the same order.
Okay. The next question is there any time limit for a will?
No. You can write it any number of times. You can register, not register, you can make changes. Yeah. What is important is to say every time you write a new will, this is the final will and I revoke all my earlier wills. And let me also tell you, please give it to a professional. But don't just go
with your bag and one diary and say write my will. He's not going to know. Go with details. This is what I own. This is my income tax return. These are the pictures of my jewelry. These are the people I want to give to. Write the will and give me. You will get the will.
And they've asked any format for that.
So format is there online, but my recommendation is please give it to a professional to get it done. If you have sizable assets, if it's a matter of few jewelry, 2 accounts, write it yourself. It is there online. You have ChatGPT, Gemini AI. So.
There's one more question. Is there any time limit for the will to be executed after the person dies?
No, so generally the process is, now earlier there was this concept called probate, which means if you reside in Madras, Calcutta, Bombay, you have to go to the High Court and give the will. Now the government has scrapped that. So you don't have to go to the court at all. You need to get a legal heir certificate, or you can use the will and use that in your banks and wherever else to enforce it.
If I get property or jewelry from my mother, then is it tax I have to pay on it or not?
No. Anything that you receive from parents, sibling and spouse, children, no tax.
So how to show it?
He's very worried about Shilpa Shetty's 12 crores. But I put a picture. I said she got 86 crores from him also on Valentine's Day. That is not being taxed.
When is a legal heir certificate required?
So generally it is always good to have a legal heir certificate. When you write a will is good enough, but the banks or anyone, even the registrar, will ask for legal heir certificate, because you go and say I am Divya Abhishek. How does the bank know I am Divya Abhishek? Somewhere my relationship to the person who is deceased has to be there. Yes. Yes.
There is a scenario. A and B are two brothers who have been running a family business together for the past 40 years. A has 2 sons, C and D. B has 2 sons, E and F. A passed away 13 years ago. A passed away 13 years ago. Later, A's elder son, C, passed away 8 years ago. At present, B, D, E and F are managing the family business. My question is, what share, if any, would A's wife, the widow of A, and C's wife, the widow of C, be entitled to in the family business and other properties? That's the first question.
So the answer, this feels like an exam question, but also I think you can connect with me outside of it, because there are a lot of nitty-gritties that one needs to understand. But the plain vanilla answer is everyone gets equal share. If the husband is demised, it goes to the wife and children in the same proportion of 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. But also if there are specific conditions or implications, I have to look at it separately.
And the second question for that same scenario, how should the business and all the family properties be legally divided among the surviving family members?
So again, this is a very specific question to the family, right? So you need to either write down on how you want to divide it and have an understanding. That's when you have a trust or a HUF of manner in which you want to do it. Otherwise, simply the entire shares of whatever profit, whatever capital, whatever assets is there in the business gets divided equally amongst the people. Yeah.
And the final, the jewelry and property we have to show in balance sheet. As you said, we don't have to pay tax.
Yes.
Okay.
But when you have jewelry beyond a certain limit of, if you're unmarried, 250 grams, if you're married, 500 grams, you have to actually pay tax on it.
So the unmarried daughter's death, the question has come up. In case the daughter has nominations on her bank balance and FD with her nephew as nominee, still the succession will go to her parents?
Answer it.
Yes.
Succession, yes. That's correct. Good job. So nominee is not an owner. Nominee is just someone who can access your bank account, but it will still go by the will or the succession only.
In the normal paper, if will is written, and beneficiaries, if any one of, suppose 3 or 4, whoever beneficiaries, if one of them say it's not accepted to me, what is the next course of action?
The simple person who writes a simple will should say anyone who contests the will does not get anything.
No, that is in a clause if it is not written.
If it's not written, he cannot contest. Whatever you write is your will. It is final.
No, that is after
At the most, he can go to the court and say she was intoxicated. I mean, she had a lot of alcohol. She's not of sane mind. She was coerced. That is, one son was behind her with a knife saying, write it like this. But it usually, the minute there's a valid will, it is the will. That's it.
No, but certain people say, I don't accept this. I don't want.
If they don't want, good for you. Then it goes to others in the same proportion.
It's okay. But they want the same portion if it is written less or...
That is not allowed. I mean, in the court of law, whatever is written is final.
Thank you.
Yes. It can be anyone. As long as you are not someone who's benefiting from the will. And the reason I say that, even if you're benefiting, you're a witness, it's okay. But if someone questions and says, see, that witness is not a separate witness, he's benefiting. So he's putting as witness, it can be judged. So whoever is not benefiting from a will, put them as two witness. Yeah. So, lot of questions on format. It is there available online on different formats. If you want, I can pick up a few and send it. But I still recommend getting it drafted properly if you have sizable assets.
One more.
None of them. A will that is not dated is not valid. So it goes to 4 people. His mother, wife, children.
Ma'am, what is the role of the
You can just call me Divya. Yeah.
Okay. What is the role of the executor of the will? And what if he doesn't play his part? Like, what can I do legally?
So if an executor has to ensure whatever the instruction is done properly. If he is angry that he is getting nothing and doesn't do, you can go to the court. Court will appoint an executor. Which is why I always recommend have 3 executors. If X doesn't do Y doesn't do Z. Because the minute you go to court, it takes time.
So we are allowed to have 3 executors.
Yeah. If X, in the first instance, if X is predeceases or is not Y, if optional, yeah, 3.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the lovely session. It was very relatable because my dad is no more. And I have been cheated. Me and my mom have been cheated by my brother and his wife for property, which has been going on for a while now. My question was, even here mutual funds are involved. So how long does that take to be released from the court?
It takes minimum 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years.
Depending on the quantum, value, nature of dispute. Yeah, it takes some time. And I'm sorry for your loss.
That is the problem.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Fight it. I mean, it's okay to fight it and wait for it. Yeah. Not embarrassing, guys. I think right now we are living in a time where it's important to speak for your rights. If 3 people judge you, they're always going to judge you. Even if you don't go to court, they're going to judge your clothes. So don't worry about it. If you need to go somewhere to enforce your right or responsibility, do it. I appreciate that you shared the story. Do it. There's absolutely no harm in that. Yeah, of course. It's your father's hard-earned money. So please do what it takes to get it. Yeah. So in a joint account, it's 50-50. So 4 brothers own it, 25, 25, 25, 25. So if one brother passes away, that 25 of that brother, if he left a will saying goes to my wife, will go to the wife. If he does not leave a will, it goes to wife, mother, children. That 25.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask the question?
If there's no will, you can claim. You can take it to court. Yeah. Yes.
Hello, Divya. This last question. A lot of questions been bombarded.
I feel like I wrote my 12th standard board exam, guys. Especially, I think Zoom participants have really spent time to draft the queries. Yes, please go ahead. No, I appreciate it. Ask me how many ever questions you want. I have the time and the mind to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Divya. So generally in the marriage you get lots of gifts from your parents, like 5 crore, 10 crore jewelry, whatever you get, and you come to your family and in-laws house, and that jewelry is lying with you, car, jewelry, whatever. And for the in-laws business, that house gets raided. Okay, and the jewelry is also caught saying that this belongs to this business or it's acquired from whatever. So at that moment, are you supposed to say that this is gifted by my parents during my wedding?
Yes.
And the parents will be questioned then, my parents will be questioned for that whatever jewelry, and they get also...
Good question. Yeah. I've got the question, so I'm happy to answer. Whatever anyone receives at the wedding is completely tax-free. Even if your best friend gives you 5 crores, I want to have that best friend, but if that's your best friend, in the wedding, on the date of wedding and one day before, whatever you get, you do not have to pay tax on it. But assume that this friend got that from gambling, did not really pay tax on it, is not able to explain, then I can go catch that friend.
So basically the problem goes to the parents if we mention that I've got it all from my
Because when parents own jewelry, up to 250 grams or 500 grams is the limit. They should have disclosed it. Earlier we had wealth tax, so people had to disclose. But even now you have to disclose it in your income tax return. And if you didn't do that, and if you exceeded the limit, then there is a chance that it can get caught. Shilpa Shetty case, source is not there.
Thank you, Divya.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think, are we done with the exam? Of course. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you.
We had a lovely session.
Thank you. Thank you very much.